I mean, provided that I'm not sure exactly what I would consider the advantage here. If Cedric can land an early lackey, I think he has like a really good chance of kind of like pushing through AJ's control elements. But
I mean, lackey is such a monster.
Yeah, I mean, no, that's not. Yeah, lackey's a monster if he's able to like hit with War Instigator. Also, Aether Vial, a very like crucial card in this kind of matchup, because obviously they can't counter the creatures as they come in. They basically come in into turn 2, so it's really hard to kind of, you know, target the creatures with sorceries, and it saves them mana, so like it hurts on so many different levels. Okay, AJ Sacher starts with the Thoughtseize, and Cedric has 2 lackeys.
Wow.
A Goblin War Chieftain, sorry, a Ringleader, and a Matron. So it looks like he can't really attack the lackey unless he has another removal spell.
I think you take the Ringleader.
Yeah, unless he has if he has a removal spell, like something like a Diabolic Edict or a Go for the Throat. I'm not sure exactly if you have
a Baleful Strix.
Yeah, Baleful Strix is also possible, though that's a little bit more dangerous if he is able to get something like a Tarfire or a Incinerator. If he doesn't have that, I would probably go for the Matron or the Ringleader. And he goes for the Ringleader, so that implies that he has no second removal spell, because like what this means is it's very likely that Lackey was going to hit now. Oh, he has a Baleful Strix, so he does have at least one thing.
Ooh, flap. A little flourish there from AJ Sacher.
So
the owls are not what they seem.
What a hoot.
Second lackey.
Second lackey. So I saw AJ actually has he has a click in hand, which will allow him to block that lackey. The trading a lackey for a click, it's not the best trade he can get at this moment, but
I'm happy to do it.
Yeah, he does what he has to.
I'll do whatever it takes to let a lackey not hit me. And AJ, on the other hand, is like thinking about pondering.
Yeah, so...
I mean, how much removal does he have? He does not have all that much removal. 1, 2, 3 targeted removal.
Yeah, so he has a Diabolic Edict to go for the Throat and the Ghastly Demise. Other than that, the lackey will...
Oh, wow, he's doing it.
Okay. I guess you could get a Dryad Arbor.
I have to say, I like clicking.
He could also draw another Baleful Strix, I guess, as well. So can't see exactly what the Ponder is for, but if he lets him hit, there's going to be probably a Matron getting cast, and then probably from that getting another Ringleader. So he's a Thoughtseize, so maybe he's able to steal.
Oh boy.
Wow. So the
Siege
2 draw
gang
steps since we've seen...
well, at least he can hit it.
Yeah, so he's got 2 Matrons, a Siege Gang, but now he can just replace that Siege Gang very quickly, obviously, with a Matron. If Cedric draws a land, he's able to like go War Chieftain Matron. There's a lot of options here. If I was AJ, it's
I have to take the Siege Gang.
Yeah, I think you have to respect the fact that you can't. He's going to get the Siege Gang into play if he doesn't take it. Oh, he takes it.
Wow.
Okay, so he's just decided to.
Ooh, Trixie, Misty Rainforest.
Oh, he has it. Cedric and AJ are good friends, so he knows that he can fetch a Dryad Arbor right here, And here he goes, fetching the Dryad Arbor, allowing him to block. This is actually a pretty huge situation now, because like if Cedric did not draw a land or a way to kill the Dryad Arbor, Cedric just throws the Dryad Arbor. These two players are like very good friends, so this is kind of a little bit in jest, but
AJ in great shape now.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, it becomes very obvious why he doesn't take the siege game, because it's now stranded in his hand. There's no easy way for him to cast it.
Yeah, I did not see that Misty Rainforest.
Oh wow, this is a huge.
And AJ actually has the ability to have a Brainstorm fetch land.
Yeah, no,
he holds on and waits because you know what? Why not get a little bit more value out of it? The main phase Brainstorm, the best kind of Brainstorm there is.
I think he's gonna he has an island in his hand too, so he's going to be able to cast his click at end of turn should he need to or want to. So the cards that AJ has is like 2 Force of Wills, a Umezawa's Jitte, a click, and another land with Misty Rainforest. So I think Cedric is just drawing no land here. I think he's drawn a Matron and a Incinerator since. He may just cycle the Incinerator if he actually drew it. I wasn't completely sure if it was.
With the way AJ's deck works, a Incinerator is not necessarily all that great. Okay, we're gonna see the click. Will AJ click himself or click Cedric? He's checking out what Cedric's got.
Okay, let's see what he got. So, 3 Matrons, a Tuk-Tuk Scrapper, and a Siege Gang. And what is that top card? Oh, it's another Ringleader. Like, everything too expensive right now. So, I would say that the AJ's just gonna let him keep it.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to give him another land.
Have that hand. That's a fine one.
Yeah. And
oh boy.
Okay.
Let me look at Cedric's deck list. Well, he has the Scrapper in hand.
He has a Scrapper in hand, but no great way to cast it. AJ has a Force of Will, so I don't think that that Jitte is going to go down soon.
In that case, with only 1 anti-artifact card in Cedric's deck, I think it's over.
Yeah, this one, I hate to call it too early, but I think
Port. Ooh.
So I think Cedric's going to play his Matron. I'm not sure exactly what he's going to look for here.
Goblin Chieftain?
I guess he could get Sting Scourger. Oh, okay. AJ shows the 2 Forces of Wills in his hand with blue cards.
Yep.
And Cedric packs it up. That was like a crazy game, because it really, I mean, Cedric actually had a fantastic start. Like, he had 2 lackeys. AJ didn't actually have 2 removal spells. He dealt with the 2 lackeys with creatures. One a Baleful Strix and the other one like a Dryad Arbor. So it does show kind of like the little things that AJ has done to kind of like make his blue-black control deck work.
Baleful Strix is awesome.
Yeah, that card is not many people played in this deck specifically. It is kind of hard to get. It's I believe in a commander deck, so you have to buy 4 commander decks to get that.
Or go to StarCityGames.com and get yours online.
Absolutely. And Dryad Arbor, which you see Dryad Arbor a lot with Green Sun Zenith, but just as something to search for, so you can block a lackey, don't really see that very often. So these are the little things you can do in Legacy that kind of like get you a lot of yardage.
Now, another thing that's really interesting about AJ's deck is he's got a deck with 2 Umezawa's Jitte. Jitte, a great card, but there's always going to be that moment if you've played decks that have low creatures where you have an equipment in play, and you've got no creature to deal with. But if you go equipment in play and a misty rainforest hanging out, you can go end of the turn, get a Dryad Arbor, my turn, equip it, and suddenly I've got an active GT.
Yeah, no, I mean, it makes a lot of sense when you have a look at the fact that he's got GT. He has 2 man lands actually, 1 Dryad Arbor and a Creeping Tar Pit. So he always has the option of using his land to like equip the GT for. He only has 1 Jace the Mind Sculptor in his deck. I think his deck just wants to try and clear the way for his GTs and creatures. He's got an interesting like set of spells, like 3 Thoughtseize, a Cabal Therapy, Ghastly Demise, Diabolic Edict, Go for the Throat, 1 Spell Pierce, 4 Force, 2 GT, 1 Probe, 3 Thought Scour, 4 Ponder, 4 Brainstorm, and only 1 Jace.
I look at this deck, I think this is a Snapcaster deck. Like, I think that this deck is designed ultimately to take advantage of Snapcaster better than any other deck can in Legacy.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, pretty much all his spells are instants except for like Ponder and Thoughtseize. I think you're right. This is definitely taking advantage of Snapcaster, trying to get like a lot of like efficient 2-for-1s.
And look at the casting costs. He's got Thought Scours in here. I mean, Thought Scour is the hallmark of a Snapcaster deck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, and every creature is basically a 2-for-1. I mean, Baleful Strix draws a card. Snapcaster, you know, you can flash back another card. Vendilion Click basically has a card attached to it. This is really intended to kind of like get the small edges and then like push through a creature at the end. Doesn't intend for the game to last actually that long, probably. Now, after sideboard, I think AJ's going to bring in Ghastly Demise, a Hydra Blast, Innocent Blood probably, and a Dark Blast. What does Cedric have?
I agree on all of those counts. I also think he'll bring in Thoughtseize.
Mm-hmm.
Cedric, on the other hand, I think we're going to largely see a Red Elemental Blast to fight a lot of the blue spells. And aside from Red Elemental Blast, he could bring in Pyrokinesis, but I don't know that that's where he wants to go. His opponent does not have a lot of creatures, so that's a pretty big investment for not much return. He could bring in 1 Pile Driver as well. That can get through a Strix, a Snapcaster, and a Click. So I would not be surprised to see 1 Pile Driver come in as his tutorable sideboard hate for AJ Sacher.
Yeah, he has Warren Weirding in the main deck. I think that is not going to be that efficient for him, so he's probably going to take that out. I don't know if he'll keep the Scrapper in. I mean, I guess it's his only really good answer to GT. It does kill a Strix, so I think it's probably going to stay inside. Sting Scourger probably not so good, so those probably come out as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm a fan of Mog Fanatic either, even though it can remove a creature. But since these players don't have each other's exact deck list, unless Cedric knows his exact deck list, then one of the things that's worth noting is that he might keep in the Fanatic as a potential way to kill Dark Confidant. AJ's deck looks like it could be a Dark Confidant deck if you're just looking at what plays out.
And he does have Dark Confidant from the sideboard. Like, the Goblin deck actually doesn't have a lot of burn, so Dark Confidant might actually be a good card to bring in too. Every creature is killable by a Mog Fanatic, so it might like give him an option to, if he has it in play, makes it really hard to land a GT. So I think I would keep the Mog Fanatic even knowing the deck list.
I can accept that.
Cedric's on the play now. Was he on the play before? No, he wasn't, because he lost his. He got Thoughtseize turn 1. So this gives him the chance to try and land his Lackey again, though we saw how that turned out last time.
That's funny. For those of you who are just joining us, I'm Adrian Sullivan here with the Ben Sec. Cavern of Souls, counter this Lackey.
Okay, so he's got to have a... Nope, this Lackey's going to hit. But what's he going to hit? Oh, not that many creatures. He has 2 Warren Instigators, so he's got to take one of them. And some land. So presumably This is not going to be much of a lackey if he doesn't actually hit with a...
Well, I think what can happen here is that Cedric can just wasteland AJ, get the Warren Instigator into play, and then set up for a later turn.
Yeah, so Cedric drew a red Elemental Blast, which is actually... I think he's... Yes, he's wastelands.
Now he's got a grand total of 3 damage in play.
And pretty much, like, he can cast anything he draws because of the Instigator and the lackey. And Pyroblast basically allows him... I think AJ is going to play an island to prevent from Wasteland, and then allow, like, basically... Oh, so, okay, so he's protecting himself from Wasteland by playing the Delta and not cracking it. And then giving himself access to Brainstorm.
First strike when the Warren Instigator, and Cedric says nothing.
Double strike.
Now we go to the next strike, and nothing. Carry a nothing.
So Cedric really needs to draw a Matron or a Chieftain or a Ringleader. Actually, if he draws a Matron, it's actually pretty funny. He plays the Matron with the first strike.
Yep.
Then he plays the Ringleader
with either of the other two.
Either the other two. Oh, he has 2 triggers, so can he actually play the Ringleader and then play something else from the Ringleader?
He can. It's not targeted, so he's just fine to do it.
Oh, Pyroblast on the Brainstorm. Okay. Let's see what he draws. It looks like he draws another lackey, which is oh no.
Wow.
First strike. Oh no.
What's that, Cranko?
Oh wow. This is going to be brutal.
I could hear Cedric from
So it's 2 Chieftains and a Cranko. So with the first strike he has that. I think
we're getting into the silly portion of the game where AJ just... Oh, wait, no, says Cedric. I want to kill you good.
Wow.
That's it.
Cedric wanted the game to go longer just so he was able to, like, play out the Chieftain and the Cranko.
Look at that smile.
But AJ would not give him the satisfaction.
Cedric just flashing a huge smile. The great thing about it, AJ, just devastated by Cedric, smiling too.
Actually, that's one of the great things about Cedric's version of Goblins. I mean, like, if you ever land a Ringleader, I mean, there's so much you can do with Warren Instigator. He basically thinks Warren Instigator is, like, far better than the Pile Driver. I was talking to him last night about it. It's like, you know, Pile Driver, maybe you get an extra 4 damage with that Pile Driver over the course of the game, but, like, Instigator basically breaks open some games that you could normally not win.
I think it was crazy, but at one of the open series, I did see a Goblins list running 0 lackeys and 4 Warren Instigators, and I thought it might have been a budget list, but talked to the player later, and he said he didn't think lackey was good enough. And that sounds crazy to me, but, you know, regardless.
I'm sure he played Goblins more than me, and he's probably tested, but it doesn't seem right to me. And
I know he played Goblins more than I have, because I don't play Goblins. Unless they're Goblin Guides. I'll play those.
One of the interesting things, actually, is lackeys, in a format with a lot of Goblins, lackey isn't that good, actually. So, in the last match, Anthony Easton and Cedric, both Goblin players were talking, and they were saying, yeah, they would normally board out lackeys in that matchup.
That makes a lot of sense to me. You can see in the background our own Ruben Bressler dancing around. Also in the background, I believe I see Nicholas Spagnolo, Todd Anderson, a few other players back there.
Yeah, behind Cedric, there's Michael Jacob as well.
Yep. U.S. National Champion 2008.
There's
Brad Nelson off behind him.
A lot of quality players at this Invitational. Players, I mean, who've been obviously great on the Open Series, but they've been great, like, at U.S. Nationals, Grand Prix, Pro Tours.
Yep.
This is not an easy field.
And I mean, the prize support on this, just incredible.
Absolutely.
Compare this to a Grand Prix.
Yeah, I mean,
sorry, Grand Prix.
Yeah, this is basically more than double, like, the amount of money given away at a Grand Prix. Over this weekend, we're giving Star City's giving away $100,000 like $75,000 in the Invitational, and then 2 10Ks, and then 3 draft challenges. So that's so much money given away. Person who gets first at the Invitational, $15,000. Terrific, terrific prize. I'm kind of jealous. I wish I could play myself. Okay.
Now we're going to go to our final game here. AJ Sacher is going to be on the play. That looks like a brainstorm and lands.
Yes, 6 lands brainstorm.
I think
Just
AJ
shows
is
it.
trying to get the 6 land mulligan. See if Cedric lets him have it.
Used to be, back in the day, mulligans used to be all land, no land. So
Those were some terrible times.
before the days of what's known as the Paris mulligan, I guess.
Yep. The Long Beach mulligan, the Paris mulligan. Where are you going, Paris or Long Beach? It depends on the era.
So Cedric looks like he's keeping his deck, keeping his hand.
AJ being on the play, there are a lot of matchups where play draw has a significant impact. Versus Goblins, play draw is a little bit more important than other matchups. There are some where it's just incredibly critical.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Though with Force of Will, there's definitely ways to like come back from these situations. Okay, let's have a look at 6 of AJ's cards and see if he gets a better 6. Can't see his hand, but he's keeping.
He says nod, yes.
And he goes first turn Thoughtseize, like he has for every game this round. Cedric has a Lackey, a Red Blast, a Aether Vial, Goblin Chieftain, and a Incinerator. I think he, again, unless he has a removal spell, he usually will take Lackey, but...
I mean, there is a reason to go for Aether Vial as well.
Yeah, no, for
and
sure.
There's also a reason to go for neither.
No, absolutely. I mean, if you think you can deal with the creature, the next creature, you might go for the...
I think he has to hit the Lackey with that hand.
Yeah, that hand is like a Ponder, a Thought Scour, and 2 land, one of which is a Creeping Tar Pit.
Yeah.
Needs to be something. He needs to buy himself a little more time. Aether Vial is actually slightly slower than casting the spells. So.
Yep. I mean, one of the things about Aether Vial, an incredible card. It basically functions though like a strange, cool land, and as such, if you think you can handle its strange, cool powers,
Wow.
Look at this. AJ's like, I can go toe to toe with that stuff.
Wow, that is. I did not expect taking the Incinerator. I mean, maybe he's like thought that his best chance is actually like to get a creature on the board here. Like if he draws Strix next turn, it'll turn out to be the right play. So let's see if Cedric plays Vial or plays Vials. Usually you play Vial because it's much more time sensitive than the Lackey is.
Wow, Bob.
Wow, he actually he must have foreseen the future, because let me tell you, now he gets basically to protect Bob. Bob is going to like allow him to draw into some threats or some answers, I guess, over the next couple turns. Cedric's hand isn't that fast, so the life loss from Bob is not going to hurt him that bad. Oh, Strix. That is a fantastic card to draw right there. Fantastic card.
AJ using the power of Bob Maher Jr., the Dark Confidant, to just really push into this game.
Yeah.
Cedric is going to be able to drop a Lackey. He's going to be able to even use a Gem Palm Incinerator to kill that Bob.
Well, he can't, because he actually made a discard, so...
Oh, yeah, you're right. There you go.
Yeah,
what visionary AJ Sacher. I have to draw a Dark Confidant. I have to draw... Hey!
Wow, that first turn Thoughtseize is turning to be like brilliant kind of play on his part, realizing that like his best cards are going to be like Dark Confidant and Baleful Strix, and
just trusting in his deck to provide.
Yeah, I mean he had Ponder, he had Thought Scour, so he actually had some draws. makes a lot of sense. I guess Baleful Strix is probably going to. He's probably worried about it getting red elemental blasted. Oh, Jite, this is turning into
Oh,
wow,
God.
absolute like randomly from the ponder, like Jite. This is like turning out to be a fantastic kind of situation for him, because if he's able to like get hit with that Jite, okay, so Cedric plays the lackey, ticks the Aether Vial up to 2.
If you can hear the cheers in the background, the Star City Games Open Series here in Atlanta is just beginning its announcements. So that tournament is about to be underway as well. In with Lackey.
Yeah, so I wonder if I do wonder if he's going to choose a block. It doesn't make any sense. The cards in his hand weren't too good. I mean, he's obviously had a couple of cards he's drawn since then. Or Matron's definitely part of what Cedric needs to kind of like bring this game back to.
Wow.
It's probably going to get a gem palm, maybe.
I would
here,
say an incinerator.
It's possible. Yep, incinerator.
What was your other thought he might do?
I thought he could go for a ringleader if he wants to see if he can make the game go a little bit longer. But I think he needs to deal with that Dark Confidant right now.
Incinerate him. And draw a card.
Oh, draws another red elemental blast, which is actually huge here.
Wow. And we see a Thought Scour. Strix, land, and draws a land. It is the important Misty Rainforest.
That's true.
That is a little 1/1 that could, so long as he doesn't draw Dried Arbor.
Super important, like considering that AJ has a Umezawa's Jite. So AJ's now got a Strix, a Ponder, a Snapcaster Mage, a Misty Rainforest, and a Jite in his hand. As far as I can tell, Cedric has 2 red elemental blasts. A
red, and then a Chieftain?
Chieftain, and I'm not sure exactly what else.
We see a Ponder then from AJ.
Ponder is 2 Thought Scours and a Misty Rainforest, so I don't think he's going to be interested in that. He's probably looking that he needs to be getting some removal spells so he can use it with his Snapcaster.
Now remember, with that Aether Vial at 2, it'll be at 3, making the Dryad Arbor no longer able to kill anything.
Oh, wow.
Because the Chieftain will come down and +1/+1 everybody.
Yeah, that's huge. This game has really kind of gone back and forth. I mean, like, AJ landing the Dark Confidant and getting the Strix is a huge situation. I guess the Strix was going to die to the red blast, but...
You know what's fun about what you just said? It's completely true. This game has gone back and forth, and it's turn 4.
Yes.
It's the beginning of turn 4.
And there's been so many, like, crucial decisions. I mean, you have a look at the first turn. Thoughtseize was, like, a huge deal, and then Cedric... I mean, this might be an easy decision, but the Aether Vial versus the Lackey, like, definitely changed a little bit of the complexion. There's been several kind of ponders that have really kind of, like, you know, been a lot of decisions. I mean,
this is one of the reasons I am absolutely in love with Legacy, is that we're on...
Oh, wow. So AJ, from his
demise.
shuffle, has drawn, again, an amazing card. Like, so he's...
Okay, what I said before about Goblin Chief.
Yeah, no, I mean...
That Chief's dead if he wants to kill it.
It's and he has a Snapcaster, so that's a huge draw. He doesn't actually have that many removal spells, even after sideboard. He has at most 5 different ones.
I think we're gonna see. Oh wow, this I don't like.
Is he?
I think he's laying the Strix.
No, he might be laying the Strix. I don't like that because he knows there's a red blast.
He knows there's a red blast.
I would think about landing the Jite. Because at the moment, the Strix is just a waste of mana at this point. He knows he has a Red Blast. I understand he's kind of like maybe like baiting at the Red Blast so he can utilize his Snapcaster.
The play I like is lay Misty Rainforest, sit, say go, Ghastly Demise the Chief, and then block the Lackey.
Yeah, and now also he can't, like, if he wants to get the Dryad Arbor, he cannot Ghastly Demise.
Yes.
Like, I think that I'm not a fan, but like again, AJ's the master here. He's doing really well with his deck, so I'm not.
Here they come, 2/2s all.
So let's see if AJ chooses to crack his Misty Rainforest for a non-arbor, so he can Ghastly Demise something. Oh, now he's basically put at it.
I think he's gonna do it.
Yep. Okay, so he's probably gonna get a Bayou if he has one.
I think he's gonna get just a regular old Underground. There are no green spells in AJ's deck.
Oh, okay.
It's just Dryad Arbor.
Okay. Just another Underground, killing the Chieftain, taking away haste from. Hold on. Is there? Oh, they're just checking life totals here because I see them counting up a Thoughtseize. I think they're just double checking life totals. We have them.
Okay. There's a 2 there, 2 there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 hit there. No, it's 2 here, 1 here, 1 here,
Yep.
1 there.
Okay, so I think we're agreed. I think now he's at 14 after cracking that the fetch land.
Underground. We're gonna see the Ghastly Demise.
Yeah, he needs to stem the bleeding here because that would actually represent 8 damage, which is just a little too much at this point.
Ghastly Demise is one of my favorite removal spells of all time. It's so cheap, and it has a nice limitation on its abilities to kill things.
Yeah, but in Legacy, that limitation
is significant.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But there's a lot of cheap creatures out there that are worth killing. Okay, hits with the Matron and the Lackey. Let's see if the Lackey gets the Lackey out of anything. Oh, no creature in hand. Cedric plays a second Aether Vial.
And we have a draw for AJ. He's got, at this point, he can start trying to defend with the Creeping Tar Pit.
Yeah, he can defend with the Creeping Tar Pit. He's looking at his graveyard. He's got a Snapcaster Mage, which he.
Main phase Snapcaster. Does this work? Let me see what you got over there.
So Cedric does have another Red Elemental Blast. So my guess is he's going to take advantage of.
He's like, yeah, that's good stuff. How about we stop it?
Yeah, I think he's, yep.
And Cedric uses the best sideboard card of all time.
And he has his last card in hand, which now AJ is going to play the
Jite and the land. Wow. That land actually surprises me a little bit. It could be potential brainstorm bait.
Well, I think
but he might, you're going to say he's going to activate if he gets the extra land and then equip.
That's right. And if he does, definitely gets a counter on that.
Yeah. One land will take him, activate, equip, get counters.
Okay, so Cedric really wants to draw a Matron, a Ringleader, a Siege Gang, anything like that.
And you can see right now the Aether Vials have kind of become a little anemic, but they could easily become supercharged with any little bit of help. In for 3. Does it do anything, or is it just a pass?
Okay.
Land go.
If a land comes from AJ, that's a huge deal.
Nope.
Doesn't look like a land on AJ's side, but
oh, in the tank, and he says go.
He says go. Basically leaving up his tar pit for the block. Cedric searches out a land, basically within his deck, to increase the chances of drawing a relevant goblin. He's got a lot of goblins that would make a big deal here.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Cedric checking to see where he has his Aether Vials.
Oh, he clicks.
Wow. Okay, well, in response, I'll do this.
Oh.
Oh, boy.
What?
Oh, boy.
Wow.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pile Driver and Mog Fanatic.
Oh, wow, that Monk Fanatic is
That-
huge, actually, right here.
Actually, both of those cards are pretty huge in the long term, right? Like,
Yeah, I guess so, except that my guess is
the Fanatic will kill the click.
the click, which would normally hold the sword. So he kind of almost has to take the Mog Fanatic. He could leave it, I guess.
Wow, and he does.
He does. That's gutsy, because he really, I mean, maybe he's deciding that he needs to block this turn. No, I think I would definitely steal the Fanatic here.
And that Fanatic could turn into a land.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
the land doesn't matter. There's a Pile Driver.
Oh,
Oh,
so
and he does.
Okay.
Yeah. They were still finishing the response, and so Cedric puts in the Pile Driver, and then the Fanatic goes away. And then Matron.
Wow!
Oh,
wow! Wow!
Demonic Tutor for Mog Fanatic.
He's
He's like, I'll look. I bet you it's going to be this one, though.
He's just got to make sure that he wants it to be the card, but like,
Oh.
no, I think it's Mog Fanatic.
And
then,
take that, click.
so
Wow. And that's for 5, knocking AJ to 4.
yeah, so
AJ
now,
needs the land now.
even with the land, I think he might be in trouble here, because like he hits, he can gain 4 life, or he can kill 2 creatures, and he still has that, like, a bunch of creatures that he has to deal with. I actually think that the lands, and I think he drew a
Fetch land.
Yeah, Verdant Catacomb. So I think he might be in a little bit of trouble here.
Oh, that Pile Driver.
Yeah, so the
Oh, that's it.
oh yeah, so
That
wow.
Pile Driver meant that there was no out. Like a
Yeah.
lot with that land. Wow.
that was a game of haymakers. Like, absolutely, it was like
Look at AJ looks at the camera. Oh man, that